lower strength, and kind of like really gently and in the flow of the shape, kind of like try to remove your brush strokes. And after that, you're gonna want to smooth relax. Once again, smooth might make me lose my shape like this, whereas smooth relax kind of like keeps the shape more. So I might like try smooth and smooth relax to get rid of like of this, which I know we're like near the end, but I'll just say that because the other approach was to
Oh, you can take all the time you want, Marco. I know you can't hear me,
take
but
like
I'm not the one who's
make a
going to
shape,
stop you.
let's say like this one here, without like doing a panel. And basically it's like everything that I just explained how to make this shape is the same as like the panel, which without making the panel. It's just that you have to create your surfaces by hand. So if you were to like grab your low mesh here, like what you'll need to do is like to separate this piece and to actually just like clean it by hand. So let's say I'm just gonna quickly do like a little demo because that's kind of like essential. I'll try to just like grab like part of my mesh here. I duplicated my, oh, I did not duplicate my model, sorry. I want to duplicate my model because I want to keep one as like the reference of the shape, and the second one will be, well, what I'll split from it to get like this thing here. And yeah, so I have this is basically like the shape I'll be working from. So I'm going to delete everything that like I don't see. I'm just going to clean a bit like the borders like this here. Oops, I needed to press Alt to show or hide controls. Oh, I'm doing a keyboard shortcut that OBS doesn't like right now. Crap. Okay, there we go. I was able to get around it. Yeah, I'll remove this and I'll remove those things and I'll keep the rest there. So you have this shape here now, right? But we're not going to do a panel with that. I'm actually going to delete what's like hidden, right? So what I'll want to do is I just want to create like some kind of like fake thickness to it, because I just like it's still going to be just like a block. So what I'll do is I'll actually do a bit of the same technique as before. Is I'll select my borders here, and I'll just like push them like further to create like a fake like thickness to it, and then I'll close hole that you can find in geometry modified topology. You have close hole. So now you closed your mesh. And I'm going to, this is like, I always like to do this here, mirror and weld, to make sure both of my side always stay the same, especially when I use like Dynamesh and I don't have subdivision levels. So I'll do this here. So now my mesh is like full, and I'll just Dynamesh it again, maybe at a higher resolution. So now I kind of like have like my shape that's going to be like my final shape. I'll just clean it quickly, just a bit more, so there's no like nothing that's too jagged. Just because I'm about to do like an algorithmic process of ZBrush, and I just don't want it to kind of like have a bad time. So I'm just going to cut like those things like this. It should be fine. It should be fine. So there's nothing that's like too jagged. Well, here, maybe a bit. Okay. And what I'll do now, I Dynameshed it again, and I'm going to create a Z-remesh that we talked about earlier. I'm going to create a Z-remesh simply because I want it to have subdivision levels. So I'll duplicate it. I'm going to, let's say the master is going to be red, and the new one is going to be white. Okay, and I'll actually Z-remesh. I'll just use my shortcut. I have Z-remesh here. I'm going to try it, Z-remesh at like 1,000 polygons. There's no group to keep, so Z-remesh. And because it's like, it's a more complex mesh, so it's going to take a little bit more time, but at the same time, it's pretty low res, so it actually like saves on processing time. But quickly enough, I'll get like a topology that's going to be at least like quadded and somewhat consistent, so that it actually like works more easily. You see, so it's kind of like a decent topology. It doesn't have polygroups for the corners though, but it's okay. I'll like it's gonna be great to show you like that. Like I don't really need also to have polygroups to like work on my corners and stuff. Like I can also do it by hand. So what I'll do is I'll just try to get a bit more of like the shape that I lost that got smoothed. So I'll just subdivide it maybe 2 times. So those 2 mesh exist one on top of the other. I'll use project like this. Project, no, and there we go. I got my shape back, but now I have actually like a more decent topology. So I can basically erase this subtool now. So now I have this one here. So what I want to do, I have my volumes. So now since we're polishing, we're doing volumes, then we're going to do faces, and then we're going to finish with corners, like I said. I'm going to divide just one more step, and it's hard to say why, but I just know that it's going to go better. And what I'll do is I'll H-polish my surfaces so that they're clean. I'll actually want to use maybe the metal matte cap because I really want to be diligent and really like make sure I'm clean. And people that don't use a shiny enough material might actually not notice that like their surface is all warped and bumpy and just not aesthetic, not hard surface, right? You really have to make sure things are like polished to a high degree to really like give the sense that it's a very clean, high hard surface material. So I'll use H-polish. I'll vary the degree of strength depending on like the size of the surface. But since this is like a big surface, the radius will be pretty big, and I'll just like gently like give strokes in the direction that I want to smooth. If I wanted to have kind of like a curved corner here, like this is a bit too strong, but like curved corner here like this, like so it's like actually divided into 2 planes. What I could do is with H-polish, I could actually kind of like be more like abrupt in these areas. So it's kind of like crushing the surface. So you see like it was like much rounder before. And then like I kind of like crushed it. But by crushing it, I kind of like created like 3 planes. And if you kind of like reduce the radius and you kind of like destroy each corners like this, you're kind of like creating like this kind of like fall off of like having, it's still like 3 planes, like 1, 2, 3, but it's really smooth how it actually transitions one from the other. And if you want to get rid of like your final brush strokes, what you can do is just do a quick like relax. So you see, it kind of like remove the last brush strokes by doing like a quick relax. Yes, it did relax everything else of my shape, but it's okay because I haven't really like put any details and I haven't done my corners yet. So the same thing I will repeat on like all of my surfaces, like this one here. So H-polish, I'm kind of like giving strokes in both direction, horizontally and vertically. Okay, what I'll want to do here is, you see how that corner is like broad here but pinched on the sides. I'm going to try to uniform, make my edge a bit more uniform, because I'll like in one swoop later decide of like the sharpness of the edge, not with crease this time, but by hand. But yeah, I'll do that for like all the surfaces, right? Except maybe those that are going to be hidden later, you know? But like H-polish, everything like this. All right. I'll go quickly. I won't do it for all of them. But basically, once that you have actually have polished all your surfaces like this, even if the corners are very like different, you see it's super sharp here. It's like smooth, doesn't matter. Let's say that you're like happy of like the quality of like your surfaces here. And okay, and by the way, believe me, this is going to take you like some practice to actually just like have the dexterity to get this like clean level. But believe me, it's really not it's not sorcery. You know? It's really just a matter of like just making sure you take care of your planes correctly and you're being methodical and using H-polish and smooth relax and that sort of stuff, and you'll get there. So this is still not like perfectly clean for me. You see how like the light shows that there's like a kind of like a curve like here. There's kind of like a curve doing this. That was not intentional. I was actually trying to get a good straight line. I could actually use the move brush to kind of like align things better to really like get the intention that I wanted. But if you do like a maneuver like this, you might have actually destroyed the polishing of your surface. So you might just need to do another quick pass at it like this. But let's say that like now that's like what I wanted to do. The next thing would be to make sure that like my corners are the way that I want them to be. And it's really simple because to get the corners the way you want to be, it's just smooth relaxing them. So you see, I'm going to undo, super sharp, redo. It's actually making the corner like a bit like rounder like this. So I will actually basically like do that like everywhere to make sure that like it's consistent, but it's also like the sharpness that I want for my choice of visual language. So now it's a bit more like consistent all around. And like sometimes like you'll create like a bump like this, like you might not see, but there's like a bit of like a cavity here on the edge now. And if that really bothers you, it's just a very low intensity H polish to like smooth it, but like you won't see it. No, it's like pretty invisible. And then what's going to be done after on this piece is exactly what I did like here. I'll add like the mid detail with the mask. I'll add the details and that sort of stuff. And it's really like not more complicated than that. Masking. I won't do it because like it's just rinse and repeat what I did before, right? But I'm pretty much just like aligning my lines so that my lines are all like either parallel or harmonious with the other lines. Complementary, let's say. I'll blur and mask this, do this, go inside like this, creates this cavity here. Not cavity, but this extrusion. I'll go with orb crack, like simulate that it's actually like a plate by itself in the cavity like this. Sometimes I use shift to I click, and with shift you can actually like do like this kind of stuff. I use that for like my straight line, and for my curves I just like do it by hand. This, oops, sorry. Then I curve, continue like this here. As simple as that. Add alphas and stuff. You can make your orb crack bigger, and you can create like trim detail like this. I'll use the lazy mouse now. Since I don't have like my poly groups to kind of like isolate the edge, like now you need to be diligent for sure, but it's totally possible. You could do this here, then you can have like a cavity inside this, whatever you need to do, right? Maybe on top. It's really depends on like what you want to do. But basically, like everything that like you see on this character, it's been done exactly like with that kind of like maneuver. So the rest is just a matter of just finding like little tricks here and there, alphas that you think that are cool. But like you see, like just that detail here, it's a capsule shape. Once again, we started with capsule shape, we're finishing with capsule shape. So I always try to just like keep things like somewhat consistent like this. So visual language is just like important from end to beginning. So this is why I spend so much time at the beginning drawing on the pictures, is just to explain to you that like this is like a knowledge that will serve you like even in like methodical processes like this. My baby is trying to get in my room right now. I just see like the handles turning like in Jurassic Park with the raptors. It's pretty fun.
I want to say thank you, by the way. This is awesome, everything you've shown. It's great. I'm thoroughly amazed and impressed by pretty much everything you've shown, and I think that probably is the same for everyone who's here.
Thanks.
I want to be mindful of your time and everyone's time, so I'm not sure we necessarily have the time for questions. Perhaps we can take 5 minutes if people have quick questions. I would like to...
if it's good questions, we could do that. I have 5-10 minutes left, so let's go for like a little round of quick questions.
All right. So if anyone has any questions for Marco, either write them in the subscriber chat channel, or you can also feel free to just ask them live. That's totally fine with me. But let's be mindful of Marco's time, who is very busy, certainly, and has other things to do today. So let's keep it relatively simple. And afterward, well, we will wish you thank you and wish you well on your way. Yeah, I'm really thoroughly impressed by everything you've shown. Like, you've really taken, like, it's like I was gonna record Hearts classes eventually for like Outgang, but now I'm not sure I need to. It's like you've pretty much covered everything from beginning to end there. So it's like, well, okay, thank you. Let's see questions that we have. Fritz on Fire, are you hiring at Chaos Masons?
We're always hiring. You just need to send your portfolio to info@chaos.com, info@chaosmasons.com, or you can just like everybody can go on our website here, and if you go and contact us here, it'll bring like a form that you can actually just like put your name in, put your ArtStation portfolio, and we'll just like send you an email if we need you, and we'll ask for your availability and that sort of stuff. So everybody can send their portfolio. We're always hiring, but it depends if we have like a needs for it for sure.
I would personally ask you, since you're there, where can people either follow you, like you? You have a YouTube channel, of course. We've talked about it, but I don't know that you're necessarily shown it. So where can people subscribe to the content that you produce on a regular basis and follow what you're doing?
I think that like a place that actually people can follow me easily is if you go on our like webpage here, first of all, there's like the newsletter for people that are interested to know about our collectibles and that sort of stuff. Also, you can follow us on like pretty much like all the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But there's like one link where like people can see like everything that we do, and it's is it? I don't think it's on our webpage actually. I'm just realizing it. Contact us.
Probably a Linktree thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a Linktree that's actually like we provide it. We provide it like often. I just realized that it's not like on our website. It's always like at like Chaos Masons. That's it. ArtStation, the Facebook page. We actually lost our Facebook page like a while ago, so we started from scratch.
That's weird. Yeah.
It was so weird, yeah. But like now we have Chaos Masons official, but like you can actually like follow us from here, or more. We have like YouTube. It's the YouTube at Chaos Mason, Twitch. We have our Gumroad, that sort of stuff. Actually, that's kind of like a good time to let people know. We actually had a demand to create more collectibles because we were like sold out. So now we're taking pre-orders for anybody that wants to buy a Wasp or a Rockerbot or a Lancer. They're now available for pre-order. So if you go on shop, you can actually have like a few. Well, this one is still available. These ones are like good for purchase. These ones are coming soon, like my Four Horsemen, the White Widow. Those ones I'm actually working on producing them also. Some are sold out. We have like Gumroad stuff also here. Some merch for people that want merch, but whatever. So yeah, you can always like visit our shop here, and in all our other social medias, it's just a question of like looking for Chaos Masons. But on our webpage, we have like a few like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'll actually be I think I'll add like the Linktree icon. It's probably going to be best for people that want to look at our stuff everywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much it for where to follow us.
All right. Let's see here. Any questions?
Honestly, that's when I'm working. This is a bad example because like this is an example where I was just working on the texturing, so I kind of like merged everything together because I didn't really care about the fluidity of things. But normally, what I'll do is like to stay fluid, like for the longest time, I'll keep at like 8-10 million polygons for each shop tools, and often I'll divide my character into like body, arm, leg, in different like Z tools actually. This one is all unified in one piece for the presentation, but the reality is that like the arm was actually alone also. And something I haven't really got the time to show, but like the leg is actually pretty much all symmetrical. Then the leg, when I worked on it, it was actually an orthographic view. So I actually had I took my blocking, like I took this leg in the blocking like this. I kind of like I like deleted one half of it, and then I kind of like placed it like straight like this. I put it in the center of the map also, and I kind of like mirror and welded it. Oops, well that's because it's not in the center, but it's too much. I mirror and welded it. Like now it's not really well done, but like now it's symmetrical again, and I kind of like created it here in symmetry. Yeah, and then when I was done, since I actually worked from the blocking, I know that like it's basically the same shape as before. So I was able to actually like place it back on the model here again. So I do that for like some characters. Sometimes I like to keep things like asymmetrical even on the leg, but sometimes I try to use symmetry like this to help myself.
Awesome. I think we're at the end of the questions. Y'all are very silent. I guess you're all kind of still like mind blown by like everything he's shown. So I'm not really surprised.
Well, there's two things. Either I'm just way too boring, or I answered all questions, and there's no gray area. Just this one or this one. That's it.
Yeah. I like this black and white approach to things.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, yeah, people are saying answered all questions. Fritz saying you're definitely not boring. So, Marco, you were awesome today.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, I guess that's the end of the interview, everyone. Once again, I want to thank Marco very profusely for the time that he has given us. He has been very generous. He was no holds barred in sharing all the tips that he has as far as Hearts is concerned. So I very much appreciate it. We had a great discussion too, as far as just either shape language is concerned, and pretty much all the work-life balance tips that came even before that. So it was a very complete discussion. We talked about a lot of stuff. I think this is definitely going to be one of the best classes we have on the website. Cool. So yeah. Perhaps if y'all have a microphone, this is a good time to say thanks to Marco, and we will wish him well on his way right after that.
Thank you very much, Marco.
Thank you, Marco.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marco.
Good.
Thanks.
You're amazing.
Thank you, Marco.
Thanks. Y'all have great voices. I love you all.
You too.
Awesome.
All right, Marco. Thanks a lot. I'll end the stream. Maybe you can stay here for 2 minutes. I'll go back on Zoom and we can just wrap things up ourselves, but I will essentially end the stream in just a minute here. So,
Perfect.
All right. Thank you once more and see you next time. Everyone who's here, of course, on Sunday we have our feedback session, just like every Sunday, and we'll be back with the regular schedule, I suppose, starting the week after that. So y'all take care. Thanks, Marco, and I'll end the stream in just a second here.
Lara, take care, Marco.
Take care. Have a good time, everyone. Take care of yourselves.